Bismillah, alhamdulillah, wa salatu wa salamu ala rasulillah. My dear brothers and sisters at Quran Weekly, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. This is my final message right now for the young Muslim activists. This message is about perfection. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, هَلْ جَزَاءُ الْإِحْسَانِ إِلَّا الْإِحْسَانِ. What is the reward expected for perfection other than perfection? Which means, if you do perfect good deeds, what do you expect from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala as a reward? Definitely it has to be also a perfect reward. This was mentioned in Surah Al-Rahman. Allah Azza wa Jal mentions this ayah in the set of informing us about the different categories of rewards. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says at the beginning of the set of these ayat in Surah Al-Rahman, towards the end of Surah Al-Rahman, وَلِمَنْ خَافَ مَقَامَ رَبِّهِ جَنَّتَانِ. For those who fear the position and their station with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala before Allah Azza wa Jal on Judgment Day, they'll have two gardens. And then He said afterwards, وَمِن دُونِهِمَا جَنَّتَانِ. And below that, there are two other jannat, two other gardens. Below that in terms of status and also in terms of course, level. So that's because of their good deeds. How much they invested in making these good deeds and how much they perfected their good deeds. You see, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala described the reward in the first two gardens. He says subhanahu wa ta'ala, dawata afnan. Means they're lush and green and beautiful and spreading, there is a huge and beautiful balance between shade and light. The other ones, He said mudhammatan, means branches are tied up together. And when He talked about the waters, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that fihima aynani tajriyan. The first two, He mentioned they have beautiful flowing water springs all over the place. They're just running water all over the place. And the second category, He said subhanahu wa ta'ala, fihima aynani naddakhatan, means the water gushing, and it's a water spring that's in the same place, stationary. It's not running water and so on. Eventually, when you look at the reward that Allah mentioned in the first two Jannah and the second two Jannahs, He subhanahu wa ta'ala concluded that the reward, that the perfection in such a reward for those people was because of what? Their ihsan. They're doing their perfection. قال تعالى هل جزاء الإحسان إلا الإحسان. What do you expect the reward for perfection in good deeds other than perfection in reward? You see, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in Surah At-Tabarak that الذي خلق الموت والحياة ليبلوكم أيكم أحسن عملا. That He created us subhanahu wa ta'ala. He created life and death. For what reason? ليبلوكم, to try you and test you. أيكم أحسن عملا, who will be most perfect, doing the best in their good deeds. So it's all about being the best, and when you do something, you do it perfectly as much as you can. My message to the young activists, brothers and sisters, whenever you're given a task, whenever you're giving a program or an activity that you're going to be making, inshallah Azza wa Jal, don't you ever try to cut corners. Try to make it perfect. Even if it requires put more time, more effort, that's fine, do it. But don't try to cut corners just because we don't have the resources and so on. Better that you wait and make the program perfect than start something mediocre that might not be to your standards and to your satisfaction, and definitely will not be the satisfaction of the people. And if you not be excited about it, then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will give you the reward according to how much you invest in there. I want you always to think of perfection as your logo, and whenever you make your any program, the first thing, the vision is all about perfection. And when I say perfection, I'm not here talking about idealism or becoming completely perfectionist in a sense that you don't expect mistakes or errors. No, even in the process of making something perfect, you expect things to go wrong, but you need to always to have a plan how to fix that. Be prepared for everything, but don't expect less than being, inshallah ta'ala, doing the best. And this is your perfection, by doing the best of what you can afford based on the time and the resources that you have. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give you the ability to, when you make anything, make it perfect and beautiful to the best of your ability. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. This is my sixth presentation, my sixth message for the, what is it? Oh, sorry. This is my sixth message to the, what's the message anyway?